Hi everyone, my name is Pragpal and welcome back in a new lecture of project management using Microsoft Project. So guys, you are aware about it that I'm providing the videos on daily basis, okay, for this particular course. This is one of the very important course for the planning and financial analysis of the G plus 10 story building. So if you not yet watched my earlier videos, so you need to watch that videos because only that video will provide a reference for the all these linkages and this Gantt chart, right? So let's get start. So in this particular video, we are going to do the work for the rest of the stories. As we aware that we are going to plan for G plus 10 story building. What does it means? It means we need to plan for every each and every single story building. Okay. So foundation work is common for all the stories. Okay. That is we need to keep in mind that foundation work should be properly constructed. So what we done yesterday, like we prepared the foundation work in a single format, single WBS format. You can do more thing over here. You can do the other works like you can do for the PCC, you can do for the column, you can do for the plinth work. So first of all, we will do that one. Okay, and after that we will go for the G ground story construction work and G plus one story construction one. Okay, so what we are going to do is here till PCC we don't have any like we are not considering it as a major activity. Okay, because this activity will definitely comes under the excavation work. So we kept it as under the foundation work. But yes, column is a very big thing that we have to consider. So we will add one activity over here, insert task, and we write like we can write over here foundation, okay, foundation column work, right? Like this we can write, and under these we can import this particular area, we can indent this task in a foundation work. So we will get to know how much amount of work we are requiring for the foundation of column work. Am I right? Okay. Now you can see as we are providing the WBS, okay, this particular line is created. Now if you need to know what is exactly this line provides the summary. Okay. This particular line provide you the summary of what kind of task it is. Okay, when it comes under like if more than one task come under the main task, okay, like if you indent some task in some other WBS, so this particular summary is created. So this particular summary helps you to get the information about what is the start date, what is finish date, okay, and like summary of this particular task, including the duration, right? Now, from this particular, work, we get to know that yes, we are going to require this particular cost for the work. So just give me 1 minute. I'll just put some, let me put the format painter over here. It's kind of Excel it is, so don't worry about it. So when we intended all this activity in foundation work, we are not supposed to identify how much amount of the days required for the column work and how much amount of the days required for the plinth work. But now due to this concept we can able to do the scenario. So here again I am going to add, okay, plinth beam work. Okay, so here what we have to do is we need to select all these tasks. Okay, if you don't know how to select, just select first one, press shift and select the last one. So you can see all are selected and make indent in this particular task. Okay, so you can see that we are requiring 91 days, okay, for this particular construction of beamwork. Okay, so just give me 1 minute. Now you can see this plinth area activity is also comes under the more indented. We need to indent this activity. You can see from here 1.3, this activity come under the foundation work. It means 1.3.5 it is 1.3.6 it is, okay, that we need to remember. Okay, so for this particular work we are requiring, okay, 91 days. Okay, just give me 1 minute to provide the proper color to this. Okay, right. So you can see we have provided this all like sophisticated the schedule, because this schedule helps you to identify the plinth work will take this much days, foundation work will take this much day. Okay, now let's come towards the DPC. Okay, dam proofing course. Okay, and that we are going to consider as a like other or like activity. Okay, for that this area, this particular work, okay, will done after the 3 days, after the 2 days when the excavated area will properly tamped. Okay, so we'll provide this activity as a 20 predecessor. Okay, and we are going to provide because it is a very big area, G plus 10 story building. Okay, so we are going to consider it as almost 15 days it will require. Okay, to click to prepare, or 10 days, consider 10 days required for the DPC work. Let's consider less than that. Okay, because it is machinery is available nowadays, so it is not a tricky task. Okay, so after this, after the DPC work, let's generate ground story construction, ground story work. Okay, and highlight this particular activity. Okay, just wait a minute. Okay, right. So now here we need to create more activities now. So what are the activity will involve? First one is the column work. Okay. So in column work, okay, ground story column work we can put like that. So it is easy to understand. Ground story column work. Okay. So in ground story column work, first activity is that we need to provide the already we need to prepare the reinforcement bar. Okay. So what we can do? Reinforcement for column, formwork, pouring, removal. This much amount of details we can take, okay, and we can just put over here. Paste like this. Okay, now you can say this all activity comes under the our main activity of the ground story of column work. Okay, and this particular activity will work under this activity. Okay, now remember that do not enter duration over here. Okay, we are in a auto schedule mode. Okay, we are not in a manual schedule mode. Okay, after that, when we done this work, then we need to add, okay, the ground story beam work. Okay, now it totally depend upon your plan, like how much amount of the details it's covering. Okay, because you're not in position to understand like what is going on, then you should consider all this scenario. Okay, okay. Now again come over here. We will take this plinth area. What we can do? Okay, or we can just change the details. Okay, reinforcement of column we can take like this itself. Paste here, and we will change it to the beam. Okay, just select indent. Okay, we'll click over here. Okay, beam, right, form of for beam, then pouring of concrete, removal of formwork. Okay, so this activity what we prepared. Now after that, when we prepared the column and beam, the next process is for the slab. Okay, so again right over here. Okay, ground story slab work. Okay, so what we have to do, just take it back. Okay, 1.3, right, like this. Okay, now again we need to what we have to do, we need to put here reinforcement, okay, for slab. Then we need to put after reinforcement of slab when preparing. Okay, then we need to put for formwork. Okay, formwork for slab, because the people who are preparing, there is a team which is preparing. Just wait a minute. Just preparing for the reinforcements, some preparing for the formwork. Okay. Race, lubricating. That lubrication portion we are not covering over here because it comes under the casting of the slab. So reinforcement of slab, formwork of the slab. Okay. Then casting. Okay. casting of reinforcement, okay, because this activity we need to add here and here also, okay, so that I'll teach you. Just give me few times, okay, for that, okay. Then pouring, pouring of concrete, okay, and removal of slab. Okay, so this activity will cover. Now here, one more thing, just indent this activity in this story. Now you can see guys that when you prepare the reinforcement framework of column, okay, so as your reinforcement of column, okay, here we can define it in another name, yeah, steel bar preparations, okay, that work you can provide over here because reinforcement of column you need to, it is a different thing, okay, so we can do the changes over here. So here we can write as ठीक है, steel bar preparation, okay, like that we can provide, okay, control C, okay. Here also we need to put the name like this, okay, right? Here also we can put the detail like this. So you will not in a position to like not able to understand the scenario. Above is okay, there is no any issue with that, but because it is a very big work, so we need to put like this. Now after that, pouring before pouring of concrete, we need to type this particular activity as a reinforcement for a column, okay, right? Control C, not control C, just go over here, pouring, and then insert task here and put it as a reinforcement of column beam, okay? Control A, C, just give me C, okay, and here also in pouring of concrete, we need to put the insert task and put here as control V as a slab, okay. So these activity what we are exactly going to cover. But after that there is also some more activity we need to prepare, but we will definitely comes after the allocations, the durations for this one. Now you can see guys that steel bar preparation we will start as these particular people will get removed, like this plain beam reinforcement people as removed, like as free from this plain beam work, we will assign them to what work, steel bar preparation. So just come over here and we can see like 16 FS finish to start. Okay, you can see at the bottom right over here. Okay, so you can see we type now as this steel bar for column preparation work done. Okay, the people are will busy, okay, for the steel bar preparation of for the beam, but before that they need to put the work over here. Okay, so let's do the work side by side. As the formwork of the beam work is done, okay, or the removal of formwork work is done, okay, or just consider the plinth for okay, just consider the the work because we can consider the plinth beam formwork work, okay, like 17 days, okay, or you can consider the removal one because एक minute. Now we need to consider the removal of formwork activity because as you are aware about that you need to use the reutilize of your resources. So for that you need to use this 19 activity. So what we are going to do is come over here, put this 19 activity. It means what? When the formwork is removed from this particular activity, you can use that formwork for the column. Okay, so that is the main scenario. After that, or you can use instead of this activity, you can use this activity 13 one. Okay, right? Because column formwork you can use for a column only. Now reinforcement for column. As this steel bar prepare, okay, and the formwork activity complete, you can prepare for a reinforcement of column, right? Before that you cannot do the work, right? For that, how you can do 16 finish to start, comma, okay, 13 finish to start. Okay, it means what that when 16 and 13 will complete, only after that this activity is in a position to work. Okay, now after that you can start pouring of activity when the reinforcement of column is complete and formwork is complete. Okay, so comma 25. Okay, these two activity need to be complete properly, and after that, okay, like you need to put the 27, okay, finish to start plus After 5 days, you need to remove the column, or usually people used to remove the form like vertical members in 3 days only. Just put like that. Okay. So like this we put. Okay. So what we have to do, first of all, steel bar preparation. How many days it will take for ground story? Let's consider it will take the um, 15 days. Okay, for formwork it will take 10 days. Reinforcement for column, they for caging they will take the um, uh, just consider 7 days. For pouring of concrete they will consider 5 days. Okay, and removal of formwork they will consider as a 10 days. Okay, so for overall construction of the ground story column it will take 30 days. Okay, now after that for a beam story work, so for steel bar preparation, what we have to do, we need to focus on this plinth bar reinforcement portion, which is a 16 number activity. The people who are allocated for this activity, as they getting free after this particular activity, they will allocate it for this activity. So we can put here as a 16. Now what you can do, okay, there is one more scenario. Here we put it for a column, so we can put it like for the beam also. But here we are considering that this team is the same. So what we can do, instead of 16, we can put this 24 number activity because our people now busy in this activity. So as they free from this activity, they will allocate it for the steel bar preparation of the beam. Okay, right? Now here formwork for a beam. So we need to look for the formwork for a beam. So just after completion, okay, removal of formwork from here from 19 activity, it can be used for this activity. Just put 19 here. Okay. Now after that reinforcement of for column. For reinforcement of column, you need to first look into the matter of the beam because all these scenarios very important. Okay. So 30 and 31 as this activity done, the reinforcement for beam can be performed properly. Okay. Now pouring of concrete. After this activity, concrete can be poured and the removal of formwork can be done. Okay. You can see for a beam we can put like as a 33 plus 5 days. Okay. 33 finish to start plus 5 days. Now let's provide the duration for the all the activity. So I can provide the steel bar preparation I'm considering for groundnut work. It will take 15 days. Okay. For form work, it will concurrently it will take the like 10 days, right? After that, you can see here like for reinforcement of beam, it will take the 10 days. Okay, or yes, it will take 10 days definitely. Pouring of concrete take 5 days and removal of formwork will take 5 days. Okay, so that's what we are let's consider 3 days only. Okay, so we are considering like this. Understand? Now here with the slab portion, what we have to do is we need to consider the steel bar preparation. So we need to consider this 30 number activity over here. For formwork of slab, we are considering this number activity 31. Okay. For casting of reinforcement, we are considering like this particular work, like reinforcement of like this activity both complete 36 and 37. Okay. After that, we'll considering reinforcement for slab. Okay. Like for a reinforcement of slab, it is very important. So we are considering the people who free from the beam and column, they will, or the people like usually that we are considering the casting of reinforcement, we used to consider like this. Okay. For reinforcement of slab, this activity we need to delete actually because we replace this activity by this one. So right click delete this activity. Okay, then we need to pour the concrete, so that is done by the after 38, and this one we done after 40 plus 28 days. Okay, 48 40 sorry, just give me a minute. 39. Okay, finish to start plus 28 days. Okay, so likewise, we prepared all this activity, and here we are providing steel bar preparation. We are considering as 15 days. Formwork we are considering 15 days. Casting of reinforcement considering 10 days. Pouring of concrete considering the 5 days. Okay, and removal of slab we are going to consider as almost 10 days. Okay, so You can see, like for the construction of the ground story work, we required 134 durations. Okay, and if you zoom this particular Gantt chart, you will get to know how this activities all portion is properly constructed. You can see I'm just minimizing this one. Okay, now I'm going to the format. Click on task and again click on critical task. So you will get to know what are the new critical tasks formed during this overall construction activity. Okay, so these are the critical tasks that you have to like you need to perform. Okay, so after that, after completion of this particular video, in next video we will definitely look into the matter of the resource allocations. Okay, because in this overall project I'm going to discuss about the resources and all for the ground story work only, because as it is a G plus 10, you need to add more activity and our project get more complicated to teach you online. Okay, so that's why I'm considering it as a till ground story work itself. Okay, rest work we will consider, or what we can do, we are just remove the name as a G plus one story building. Okay, or like that we can consider, so it will help us. But now we already defined the more duration here, that's why we consider G plus 10 story building. Okay, so there is an exercise for you. If you want to utilize all this project like G plus 10, what you have to do is you just take this particular file which I'm going to provide you in few 1 2 days. Okay, and you can use this particular rest of the activity by your own, so you can exercise all this project activity. Okay, so thank you so much guys that you watch my videos. I hope that you are having great time now. Okay, have a nice day. Bye bye.